Deputy Stagg.
I welcome any proposals on Dáil reform that might have a chance of being implemented, but the strange timing of the proposal from the technical group surprises me in the middle of a process of consultation with the government whip about Dáil reform itself. And given the amount and volume of demand from the technical group in particular, I'm very surprised at the minimalist and indeed miserable offering that they came up as a package of Dáil reform. Are they seriously suggesting to us that that's all? Are they seriously suggesting to us? I read your motion. It's here before me. There's nothing worth talking about in it. Are they seriously suggesting, all the great thinkers in the technical group, that that's all that's wrong? That their motion will correct all that seems to be wrong? I doubt it. Can I just say about the whips? Whips have been in vogue and in place in parliamentary institutions since Cromwell established some form of democracy in Britain. He did. And the history of the whips, if I could be, Chairman, allowed to continue without interruptions from Tipperary. The history, we don't hear very much from that quarter, incidentally.
Yeah, could we have some order, please?
The history of whips, Cathaoirleach, is that they were in fact engaged as loyalist supporters of the Prime Minister to go into alehouses and houses of pleasure around the Parliament of Britain to beat the members of Parliament out of them and to come in to vote. And the whips in England are still given a ceremonial whip when they're appointed. Now, I think maybe we should change that in this republic and call them coordinators or some such other more suitable name. My job as a whip, and I'm a long-standing whip, is to listen to the views and opinions of the parliamentary party at their weekly meeting on the various votes that are to come up before this House and in this House, and to a decision have been made collectively by the group there, then to ensure that the members vote accordingly. And they have all taken a pledge voluntarily to do so. That if they want to be in that group, they do so. And if you want to be an independent, of course, you can be an independent as well, and then you don't have to have a consensus with anybody else about what happens. The proposal to abolish whips would create anarchy in this House. You would have all the people like Deputy Boyd Barrett and all the various opinions within the technical group, so you could absolutely make no decision on anything. Absolutely no decision on anything. And there's no parliamentary institution in the world that I'm aware of, in any democracy, that hasn't got some form of whip system. This chamber, Cathaoirleach, is a legislative chamber. It's not a debating society. And I want to stress that. It's not a debating society. And the only reason the government gave space in the last number of weeks to debates about more or less nothing was that there was no legislation prepared. And the government normally, after being elected and a government going out of power, would actually go into recess for a period of time to allow the programme for government and legislation to be prepared. That's the normal practice. That didn't happen here, and I think it was a mistake that it didn't happen. As a result, there's loads of time to debate issues without any result, without any outcome. That won't continue, let me assure the opposition, because when the legislative programme gets up and running, there won't be time to give you space to criticise the government, because that's effectively what you want the debates for. You can do that in your own private members' time, which is available to you. Keeping the executive to account, I believe, is a primary function of this chamber. As a result, you might have noticed since the election that I have encouraged, and without need for much encouragement, Labour Party backbenchers to raise questions on the order of business, to table questions both oral and written to the government, and to raise matters on the adjournment. And I'll ask them to continue to do so. Unfortunately, I wish I had a lot longer. I must make the point that I think the point that was made by the last speaker is right. You know, the limitation of 5 minutes speaking time is. It's just you can't have a debate in that type of time. One of the big issues, I think, that one of the big issues that we need to address. One of the big issues that we need to address is the fact that we have transferred power out of this chamber to quangos, over 1,000 of them. There's nothing about that, incidentally, in your proposals. There's nothing about that in the proposals. We need to recover that power. That's power that people give us and sent us here. We transferred that power, I believe unconstitutionally, out of this chamber to Quangos. We need to recover that and bring it back into this chamber so that the people are restored the power that they gave transferred to us when they elected us. I think that is essential. I understand my time is up, so I'll sit down.